let's show that possibility in that place. Showcase of possibility. If you're willing to take on that challenge or that opportunity, it's there. It's there next week. It's there next month. Yeah, I'd love to talk about individually and collectively, like how we do that very soon. Next week. Yeah?
All right. Yeah. All right. That's right. The story that we're weaving, the story that hasn't been written yet, right? That's what we're talking about, as well as the stories that have been told for eons and a century and millennia. So all the stories that we're talking about are in our mind's eye and in the inspiration that comes as we hear people's invitations to participate and be involved with creating our own futures. So any other motivational anything that could be construed as a story. Anyone? I've got a couple other people I'm going to call out if I don't hear anyone.
So we went down there. It was like one of these things. I don't have a car anymore. Okay, I'll rent a car, try to carpool, whatever, drive down there, excuse my carbon footprint. But we made it down to Fallbrook. I mean, next to Camp Pendleton. You know what Camp Pendleton is? Okay, it's like where all the military guys play. So there's like, anyway, we finally get out there, meet in the morning, and so all these white Sapoti enthusiasts from like Northern California, San Diego, all, you know, we converged on the spot. The guy who started this place is 88 years old now. His name is...
Me, there lives a black hole. Now, you future ones, you're going to be very, very obsessed and curious about what black holes are. And right now, I'm not. But around my black hole, no, there is one more thing about this center of my body. Stars.
Start with me right now, 'cause I will see you through. Every day we tend the plants, and we offer them a chance to grow with sun and water too. Ah yes, we're farming, we're farming, we're farming, we're farming, and we're farming in the name of the earth. All right, we're farming, we're farming, 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 and we're farming to preserve her worth. We cultivate the seeds and wildcraft the weeds to keep us satisfied. Not sis and bro to GMOs pushed on us by CEOs. We farm organically with pride. WTO can't stop me now. We neither beg nor we will bow, for the earth cannot be bought and sold. We all defend the right. Earth's children must unite! Soil, seed, and water's more than gold. Ah, yes, we're farming, we're farming, we're farming, we're farming, and we're farming in the name of the earth. All right, we're farming, we're farming, 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 and we're farming to preserve her worth. The seeds.
When I rise,
And when I rise,
let me rise,
let me rise
like a bird,
like a bird, joyfully.
And when I fall,
And when I fall,
let me fall,
let me fall
like a leaf,
like a leaf,
gracefully,
gracefully,
without regret.
without regret.
When I rise,
And when I rise,
let me rise, you know,
let me rise
like a bird,
like a bird,
joyfully.
joyfully.
And when I fall,
The last role is that idea of a bird, that you're in your nest and you're the host, and those are the folks that have chosen to take responsibility for one of these topics that you want to move into the world. And so it looks like we have a lot of topics already presented up here. It looks like there might be room for one more, and we imagine that there's, from the folks who just came today and yesterday afternoon, there might be even more discussions wanted. So we thought we would take the
Shared was the backwards beekeepers and the importance in terms of letting natural selection do the selecting of the queens and the hive genetics for you. So your bees are more mite resistant and they're just more likely to survive and succeed. And then you're, picking the ones that nature already said are going to work. Also, just the pure joy of keeping bees. I mean, it's a real buzz.
Marin, East Bay, San Francisco, Santa Cruz, and I guess it's those 5. Those were the main 5 that we went with. And then it's expanded up to the Mendocino, the Santa Cruz, the Monterey, and up to Mendocino, and then also here represent our many more that are present. And we thank you so much for coming to this regional gathering. But
director of RDI, and we've been kind of a hub here. So we ended up really talking about collaboration and relationship to money and financial sustainability and how we can support each other. We acknowledge that there's a lot of skills in Marin and in the circle, and there's also places outside of Marin and other parts of the world, like Peter has a project in Nicaragua that he's working with, and where they need skills. And so how can we pool our resources of skills, people, networking to start supporting the training programs that we're doing here in Marin? So like, for example, when people come to RDI for a training program, we'll send them over to John, and we'll have that in our budget to go pay John to go do, it might be a week or whatever your program is. And then at another point, we might send them over to the seed school and learn about seed saving. And then if there's other people out there that, we have our reskilling program, so then they can come through and learn fiber arts or make soap or medicine making. And then, go where whoever else has programs that they're doing, that rather than keep reinventing the wheel, that we start supporting the people who have been doing this work, and see if we can start collaborating and funneling funding through our circle here and beyond. Yeah, we're not just limited to Marin, but that's what we're talking about. Is there anything?
I think also just expressing our needs and being as transparent as possible as an organization and as people, and putting out there what our needs are.
Yeah.
Marcus, can you create a little very low bandwidth email list that we just kind of updating, because we realized we didn't fully know everything that was going on in Marin. And no commitments, maybe it collapses in 2 weeks, but just to give it a try.
In Sonoma County, the land of green, North Bay, has an overabundance of CSAs. Lots of good, juicy things happening. We're the largest county represented here. And we talked mostly about the Permaculture Guild up in Sonoma County, that it was once very active in the way that it created a lot of business. Daily acts, permaculture artisans, and through that it also dissolved itself because it started focusing on its own projects instead of being a guild. And we want to have a resurgence, regenerate the guild again. So we actually have a date for our first meeting, the last Friday, July 29th, at Golden Nectar Farm. Our lovely hosts in Windsor. There's thousands of things happening in Sonoma County. I wrote down a few things. Anna from Golden Nectar is actually doing some garden as medicine with the Ceres projects out of Sonoma County. They also are hosting Farm Fridays and doing aquaponics on their land. It's a spiral food co-op that's working with local farms to bring people together and local restaurants to create community in Grayton. We had the Resource Conservation District with good local governance that works also with permaculture and activists in the area. They have job development and they support small farms. There's the Sonoma County Water District, the Community Clean Water Institute, that measures water quality in streams throughout the district. Sonoma County Biodiesel Co-op. The ISIS Oasis. There's a, what's it called? The
Cobb-a-lot.
Cobb-a-lot that's
Camp
happening
Cobb.
at the end of the month. There's also the Salmon Creek Restoration Project, bringing salmon back into the creek. Actually putting salmon in to let them spawn and regenerate the area. The Global Student Embassy, that is an exchange program that not only brings students from other areas into Sonoma County to do projects, but also takes students from Sonoma County into the global regions to do projects. So you have a lot of a lot of trips going down to Peru and South America. So if anybody wants to get involved, they're looking for people, not just from Sonoma County. Carolyn Staten was there representing Transition US, and she's very interested in integrating the gifts of permaculture in with the needs of the transition movement. Not only with Transition US, but Transition Sebastopol itself, possibly even Transition Windsor that might get started up, and Transition Healdsburg. There's a really great program with Transition US that's starting with Transition Streets, which is even more micro as far as looking at who's across your street and who's on your block, and getting people to reduce their carbon emissions and their water use and their waste stream. And it's a really good project in England that's had great success, and we're looking at getting it more abundant here, especially in California, where we're really focused on reducing our carbon emissions by next year, hopefully.
Thriving permaculture in San Francisco, I'm happy to report. Everyone was here today, just networking, getting to know one another, and sharing resources and needs. There's a lot of meetings actually happening this next week. The first Tuesday of every month is the Urban Agriculture Alliance meeting. Urban Agriculture Alliance is a great organization that is working to look out for the needs of urban agriculture and as well as promote urban agriculture. One thing that they're doing right now is they've put together a platform that they want to present to the candidates for mayor. In case you haven't heard, we're electing a new mayor this fall. And so they've put together a set of needs for urban agriculture and the policies they'd like to see enacted, and they want to try to get a candidate to get behind that. So we have a politician going into office that we can support in ways that we can work with the mayor's office. So if you're interested in that, this Tuesday, the Urban Agriculture Alliance.
We met here for the first time. We were looking for each other. We had to come down here to find each other, I guess. And there is a seed swap in Humboldt, and that's the only official event that the Permaculture Guild has been involved in.
Bay Area! For all you hip hoppers. All you hip hoppers. Okay, so I'm here to report that we have a really good urban permaculture and sustainability movement thriving. Have not the policy stuff that San Francisco. I just want to nod to San Francisco for getting that stuff legislated.
Yeah.
Big ups on that, because we just copy and paste the text and say, hey, they did it, and we all can replicate it, right? That's the goal of this, right? Partly. So we had a good meeting. We mostly represented the transition town and the permaculture guilds, but we also talked about the different groups that are doing work in the realm of urban agriculture and permaculture. And I just want to call them out because one of the things we're looking to do is start to work collaboratively to cross-promote each other's classes, to also design our calendars, upcoming calendars, knowing what the other groups are thinking of putting into their calendars so that we don't have any redundancies or conflicts, you know, similar classes on the same day. And so some of the groups that are starting to talk about working together in that capacity, the Institute for Urban Homesteading. Rachel was here yesterday and part of today. Ruby is based down there. The Ecology Center, of course, 40-year history of doing this type of work, has inspired Ecology Center knockoffs all over the country. The Biofuel Oasis, which you know, is also the full women's collective running a biofuel shop and garden supply shack. And Novella Carpenter, who is one of the founding members there, wrote the book City Farm. So if you,
Farm City.
what is it?
Farm City.
Farm City. My bad. Okay. Oh, it said Farm City. I was just flipped over. Farm City. There it goes. Okay. City Slickers in Oakland, West Oakland, mostly. They just got a big grant and have purchased some property, and are also a shining example of how you can collaborate with a city park department. They are literally growing food on an Oakland City Park as stewards, and so yay, City Slickers. A new group, Urban Adama, Urban Adama, and it's a Jewish service learning project that's got a 3-acre site right on San Pablo, right near Dwight, and they are basically, it might very well be the only portable farm project. They only have a 2-year lease, and they are basically building their soil on pallets, 1 pallet at a time, and the whole thing is designed to move when they need to, if they need to.
We had a really great SoCal Convergence a couple months back. Had about 250 people there on our biggest day. There's only about 9 people here from SoCal, so we kept our regional meeting pretty short and sweet, and we all pretty much know each other. We're all pretty tight knit, and so we all pretty much know what everyone else is up to, and pretty much know all the other resources and information and stuff that the other people know. But we were discussing basically some of the aspects of what we might do for next year's Convergence, and kind of discussing some of the distinctions between what we've experienced here and what we just put on at our Convergence, and sort of how they're kind of opposite sides of the spectrum in a way, in the sense that this has been all open source technology, and then we were all about keynote speakers, and so it's like those are kind of diametrically opposed in a way, as far as structure and format. And also this is being held in a location where you can, permaculture is being implemented on site. You can actually see it being done. You can get your hands dirty. You can do permaculture while you're doing your, converging. And there's opportunities for hands-on elements here, and we didn't have any opportunities for that at all. We rented a venue where we weren't able to do anything like that at all. So just trying to figure out how to actually sort of like walk the middle path and like bring all those elements together, where we can have a good infrastructure for being able to host a large group of people, but also to be able to have hands-on elements happening, to be able to see permaculture in action while having
this is a part of I think some greater movement that's happening in Sacramento, where the mayor, his main program is called GreenWise. Kevin Johnson, who was an NBA star, he's trying to bring green jobs and all that energy to Sacramento. As you may know, has been sort of decimated by the loss of military and government jobs over the last decade and the housing collapse. The city's got trouble, and it's got a lot of areas that have a lot of life force in them because we have 2 great rivers that run through our city. We can actually sustain a large population, unlike most of California, but we're not living very wisely there yet. So I'm just getting a sense of what's really happening, and I'm really inspired to come back to my home community after 15 years away and see all kinds of wonderful new growth and a lot of people that are getting interested. Soilborne Farm is probably the most impressive thing that I've found. I would highly recommend checking them out. So as far as urban agriculture goes, they are incredible. They have a 40-acre property on the American River Parkway, which is a 31-mile-long corridor from Folsom Lake to Old Sacramento that has a bike trail that goes all the way along the city, no cars, full of wildlife. They have the Native Plant Society nursery on their property. They're doing holistic management with their animals on 15 acres. They got green jobs money. They're getting money from Kaiser for food access to poor communities around diabetes issues. They're opening up all kinds of avenues. And that's the group through which the Harvest Sacramento program I've been talking about with the fruit trees is operating.
Michael and I have been working together. He also does Common Vision. But we want to tell you where we have our meetings is in the Yuba River. And right now the Yuba River is completely swollen because of the too much snow up in Tahoe and Truckee and those areas. So we haven't had our meeting this year yet.
But you're all welcome to join us for our guild meetings.
Yeah, we have
the social to the physical. Thank you all so much for doing the work and being seed planters in your own community. It's incredible work.
as we come to a close, we wanted to make an invitation from the organizers of this year's Convergence to invite anyone who wants to join in and take on our next Bay Area Regional Convergence, to just make yourselves known to JMA and the crew, Living Mandala and RDI, and a group of us just sort of came together to do this year. We of course want to continue on, and just are curious if anyone this weekend has felt like, oh, I think that, you know, our area might be a good place, or our center might be a good place to have the next Convergence. If you want to just, anybody have that thought or that feeling, wanting to see that Convergence happen somewhere else next year, you want to let us know. And what are you bringing forth as we move on through our evening? And some of us will be here tomorrow, some of us will be journeying to our various homes. What are you bringing out back into your community? And what is it that's really staying within, you bring it in, you received? What nourishment? Renewed relationship, or maybe new relationships.
Make a sacred sound, get your feet on the ground, make a sacred sound. Watch the mind from outside, surrender to love from the inside, celebrating now. Let our words just unify, let our eyes be open wide to see what's really here and now. Inside is outside. Turn in place to honor the directions, listening to hear the song of creation. Oh, 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 oh. Slow down, make a sacred sound. Get your feet on the ground, make a sacred sound. Sacred sound. Slow down. This life can be so profound, and always know you're not alone. Listen. I woke up with a dream of a vision of a new time slipping through my mind. This is the season of the re-strung visionaries. This is the